Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of the Coach's Corner, where I've got my friend here, Meryl, and we are talking all about living in alignment. And we're just going to take the conversation where it needs to go. I love having conversations with other professional women, showing how we can do life in a lot of different ways. And as long as we're doing it in alignment to our values and the things that are important to us, it works out. It works out so much better than when we're pushing a boulder up a hill. So welcome, Meryl. Tell us a little bit about you, what you do, and who you help.
Thank you for having me. So I am a transformational healer and coach and accredited certified EFT tapping practitioner. And I say law of attraction lover. I've married all those together, and including some energy healing, which is a non-tapping spiritual form of EFT in my coaching practice, where I help women to reclaim their self-worth, their self-confidence, their self-trust, and their self-esteem. And we do that by helping them to heal what is making them second guess themselves or self-sabotage their decisions, hesitate in life. And it's always connected to, our past, right? The way that we were brought up and how our needs were not met. What I find a lot is the women that I help are really smart, and they've done some work, and they understand intellectually that maybe their needs weren't met, but that doesn't mean that the energy in your body is not healed from emotions connected to events that happened or didn't happen with our parents, right? If we didn't have physical touch or, words said to us, like "I love you," can definitely create these voids in our energy where we keep trying to fill it up, right? With validation from the outside world or over giving and people pleasing and not really trusting our intuition and following our heart, right? So
There's
that's
so
really.
much conditioning, right? There's so
Mhm.
much conditioning that we are told and taught from way back when growing up, and our the values that were given to us, and we think that we need to be a certain way. I think especially as women, and we
Mhm.
want a career, some of us want a family, and how do you figure out how to balance all of that? And even if you don't have a family, even if you don't have a partner, you still have a lot on your plate because we wear a lot of hats. And so, like you said, it's partly conditioning. And I also think it's so interesting, just because like you said, you talk to a lot of smart women, right? And they've done some work on themselves and they know these things, but that doesn't fix it. Just because
Mhm.
you know what's wrong, or you have like an inkling of, oh, this might be a little part of the problem. How do you help women like dig deep and get down to the root?
It's really helping them connect to their body because they know it all in their mind. And the work that they've done typically is listening, like listening to a podcast, or it's reading with the eyes, it's talking to a therapist, but it's not connecting to how is it making you feel, right, in your body. Well, I'm anxious. Oh, where are you anxious? Oh, well, my chest is tight. Oh, okay. Right. And we just start to really connect all of that, their thoughts with their feelings and their body. This is what's connected to your nervous system responses to the behaviors that are happening in your life that are not getting you any further, right? You've gotten yourself to a certain point. You've survived, right? And you've gotten yourself to this certain point, but now there needs to be a new level. And how do you get to that new level is by healing what is in your way to get to that new level. So just like we have a glass ceiling, of money, we have an emotional glass ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
I feel, right? We get to a certain point emotionally, and then we need to increase that intelligence just a little bit. And all of the emotions are stored in our nervous system. right? So the tightness in your chest is a nervous system response from something from your past. The nauseous feeling maybe in your belly is connected from something from your past. It's like PTSD, right? Just very similar, and it could be a heaviness in your shoulders or pressure in your head. I mean, these are very common things that a blockage, a lot of times it's blockage in your throat because you fear really speaking your mind. So I hear that a lot. And it's really noticing, it's helping you to get to a point where you notice these things physically before the thought gets to your head, and then you can disrupt it. And that's the work that EFT does, is it constantly is disrupting that pattern. So you rewire it to a new pattern, right? To a new way of being and,
Right,
and
right.
behaving.
And for those people, I don't mean to make it this a longer topic, but for those people who don't know what EFT is, can you give us like the Reader's
Yeah.
Digest version?
Yeah, so it's tapping on your Chinese energy meridian points. We tap on the basic recipe, which I'll just show as I'm talking here. And you tap on the 12 main energy meridian points as you go through this basic recipe here. It's just like going for acupuncture where they're putting needles in, but we're using our fingertips instead. And it's literally changing your emotions. It's disrupting the patterns of the way you feel about something. It is dismantling your attachment to events that have happened in your life or worries and anticipation about your future. So it's really helping you to be much more present and conscious with what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that you can use in your everyday life to help manage your emotions and balance out your nervous system, right, and your
Yep.
energy, but
Yeah.
then also help you to heal from events from your past. I do inner
And
child work with it, ancestral healing with it, and I'm going for level 3 training next weekend, which is all for trauma and stuff. So
yeah,
I'm excited about that.
it's what I love about it too is that you are able to use it yourself. Like you don't have to go anywhere. Once you learn the technique, you can do it whenever you feel like you need to do it. So you're in control, which is, how we love to empower women is to,
Right. And
give them back.
yeah, no, and that's what I love about my work is, I want my clients to graduate, right? Graduate and have these tools and be able to, right, exactly, feel in control of their lives.
Yes. Well, one of the reasons I wanted you to come on to my audience today is to share your story, which I was so excited when you told me, which is not at all why we got on a call to begin with. But then when you started talking, I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly the kind of thing that, my people need to hear about is how you transformed your career and life from what it was to what it is now. And obviously I can tell just by you talking about what you do now that you love it, that, it brings you happiness and joy and fills you up. So tell us a little bit about that. Like what was life like before and how the heck did you transition? Because that's not ever easy.
No, it wasn't. So from a very, very young age, like 3, I can remember having incredible sadness and negativity. I had a normal childhood, but I didn't get what I needed. I didn't have any big T traumas. I grew up in a nice middle class family, right? So I was the intellectual person that understood all of that, but did not do the healing within. That was me. That's why I know I can relate to all of that, right? So, I worked in corporate America. I went to college. I kind of did that for a little while. It wasn't really serving me. I wanted to follow a childhood passion of mine, which was a creative passion doing nails. So I did that. Left corporate, worked for myself, and opened up my little nail studio, which I did for 28 plus years. But I was burnt out, and I still had incredible amounts of highs and lows of emotion and stress and anxiety. I had fear around money. I had fear. I was successful, but I always had a fear there was never enough. And even though I had a lot of friends, I had issues more in my romantic relationships that I just needed to heal myself, like anxious attachment and just not feeling worthy and confident enough. So I kind of settled a lot in my romantic relationships, which I've worked on all of that, obviously. But anyway, I just was always following the breadcrumbs. How can I be better? I don't want to be thinking this way anymore. I just kept following the little breadcrumbs. I became a yoga teacher, a meditation facilitator. And in 2017, I said, okay, I know I'm going to be closing my salon within a year, and I'm going for another advanced level yoga teacher training. What am I doing? I think I'm being called to be led to coach. I don't know what that looks like or how I'm going to do that, right? So I find my first coach, Dr. Kim Duramo. She was doing tapping, and I started learning about mind-body medicine. That's connecting the mind and the body together, all about tapping. And then after doing a training with her and then signing up for my own coach, I worked with this one coach on and off for 3 years on my own personal development and all law of attraction. And so, in 2018, I closed my salon. So that was 4 years ago. I brought home whatever clients wanted to follow me to my living room. And a month later, I fell and I fractured my wrist in like 3 places. So I couldn't work. I was teaching a few yoga classes so I could walk around the room and teach, but I really had no income. I was eligible for free medical and food stamps. And I was making 6 figures in my salon. And I did not save or plan on closing the salon and starting a new career or doing it the right way financially. I didn't do any of that. And, truthfully, I kept cutting down and cutting down and cutting down in the salon because I was teaching more yoga and I couldn't physically do it anymore. So I knew I was making the right choices for myself, but I wasn't bringing in the same income either. And then when I couldn't work anymore, I was like, okay, well, I'm led to work with this one coach, and she has this program that's starting in a week after I broke my wrist. Well, I have all this time now. I'm going to put it on my credit card and pray. I'm pretty sure, like I'm following my intuition. This is what I need to do, and I'm going for it. And I never looked back. I never went back to doing nails, only my own. And I finally got rid of my nail station. I got myself like this beautiful hydraulic desk that I have so I can sit and stand, which I always wanted when I was in the salon. I always wanted to be able to stand. And, I just slowly kept following, the coaches. I hired the business coaches and the marketing coaches and and joined support groups and just continued to build my community and my life. And, and now I have a steady business. I mean, it's all allowed me to believe in myself more than I thought I could. I do not have the negativity at all like I used to. Not that it doesn't creep up because I am human, but I have the tools to very quickly have the resilience to bounce back and be curious now about, oh, I understand why that's coming in now because it's connected to and okay, I got to give myself some love here, or right, and I just know how I can move through it. And it's more of a beautiful process instead of a frustrating, arduous process. I mean,
yes.
I was just telling someone a year and a half ago, I went to a rage room twice in order to get rid of some anger that I still had in me. I'm telling you, one of the best experiences I ever did.
Yeah.
I wanted to like break coconuts somewhere, but I didn't have anywhere to do that.
Yeah, we have places like that around here too, with breaking glass and doing all sorts of,
If you have some pent up anger or frustration, I'm telling you, the best 15 minutes is all you need. Best 15 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
So it was really like, I'm going to do anything and everything and invest whatever I have to in order to get me to where I want to be.
Yeah, that's a really strong drive. And people often ask me, how do you know that you're moving in the right direction, and intuition, and that you're trusting yourself? And, I say it's like you're either feeling expansive or you're feeling contracted.
Yep.
And when it's not working, right? Mm-hmm. We all know when we feel like it's not working. but sometimes we get a little bit confused. Is this the right way? Or, how am I doing here? Am I moving in
Yeah.
this direction or that? So yeah,
I
it's
know for
expansive.
me, yeah, for me, I found that when I'm out of alignment, I'm in my head overthinking.
Hmm.
And when I'm in alignment, I'm in my body and I'm grounded and really calm.
Yep. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think for so many of us, especially professional women, working women who I speak with, we're very cerebral. We're always up here and thinking about what's the next thing, going from one thing
Mhm.
to another, instead of just taking 3 deep belly breaths and getting right back into your body.
Right.
Again, we have the tools to do this. We just need to take advantage of it. So thank you,
Exactly.
Meryl, for coming on and sharing your story, telling us a little bit about what you do. Where can people find you if they want to learn more about this tapping?
So you can go to my website, which is merylhayton.com, and I have a pop-up window for my 7-day Tapping into Worthiness freebie. I have a free Facebook group called Empowering Community for Women, where I do 30-minute weekly healing and clearing sessions on different themes. On Wednesday, it's called Wellness Wednesdays. So there's that, and I'm on all of the socials, TikTok, I do Reels, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, everything's under my name.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Yeah, and we loved it. I loved it. So I'm sure that we will be chatting again soon. You guys all have a fantastic day, and I'll be back with another Coach's Corner next week.
All right, bye.